Law enforcement search for inmate 30-year-old Khalil Bryan. This comes after the Orleans Parish Sheriff says the jail mistakenly released him on Friday. It's due to a clerical error. So the NOPD in the sheriff's office says he's wanted for violent and nonviolent charges. Tonight, one of the top crime fighters at the Orleans DA's office calls the release preventable, and he warns of another big problem that needs to be fixed.
This escape on May 16th of 10 inmates from the Orleans Parish Jail captured the nation's attention. Now the jail's accidental release of inmate Khalil Bryan has the facility back in the spotlight.
How could this happen, especially after what happened 2 months ago? It was shock.
That was the initial reaction from Matt Durbus. He is the homicide unit chief at the DA's office. He says he learned about the mistaken release close to 3 p.m. on Friday when a judge notified him.
We consider him a very violent individual.
The Orleans Parish Sheriff says Bryan was in custody for violent and nonviolent offenses, including home invasion and domestic abuse. The sheriff says details on exactly when and how it happened is still under investigation.
We are committed to correcting the internal processes that allowed this to happen.
But Durbus says based on jailhouse phone records, they know Bryan was in jail Thursday night as of 10 p.m. As for the accidental release, he called it absolutely preventable because Bryan is twice the size than the inmate that was supposed to be released.
Pull up the booking photo. Just pull up the mugshot and look at the person who you're supposed to be releasing and look at the person who you're about to walk out the door and say, this isn't the same guy.
He also says there's another security issue at the Orleans Parish Jail that the public needs to know.
We have a serious concern right now. We've had it since February.
He says it has to do with the sheriff's office making sure all judges' orders and warrants for inmates and individuals are entered into a national crime database. That's what law enforcement and jail facilities rely on to know if there are special orders to either pick up a wanted individual or not release an inmate anywhere across the country.
The sheriff's office is responsible for making sure that warrant is placed into the National Crime Information Center, NCIC.
But he says that hasn't been happening. And on Thursday, it almost led to the release of one of the recaptured jail escapees, Lenton Van Buren. He's been in a Department of Corrections facility since his recapture.
They were about to walk him out the door because there was no detainer in place. There was no warrant in place in the NCIC.
Durbus says fortunately he got a warning about this and got the sheriff's office to put the critical information in the system to stop the release of Van Buren. But he warns it's another big problem the sheriff's office needs to fix.
We also reached out to the Orleans Sheriff's Office for a response over the DA's office warning that the sheriff's failure to put critical information on the judge's warrants into that big database could lead to more incorrect inmates getting released. The Orleans District Attorney's Office says it will release more details on this issue next.